Hi, this is Yadvinder Singh and you are watching my video lecture on the nitro compounds in which I'm going to talk about the different methods of preparation for these molecules. In the last lecture, if you remember, we can classify the nitro compounds into two different categories depending upon what type of R group is attached to the nitro part. Now, if we say this is the general structure of a nitro compound, depending upon what type of R group is this, we can classify the nitro compound into the first category in which this R group will be some alkyl part. Let us say the methyl group. Now I will be calling such kind of nitro compound as the nitroalkane because it is an aliphatic type of R group here. On the other hand, if the R group is something like the benzene ring, we will be calling the corresponding nitro compound as the nitroarene molecule. And in this particular video, I will be talking only and only about the methods of preparation of the nitroalkanes. Means we will be having the nitro group here and it will be attached to some alkyl part here only. So let's get started. You can see here, this is the very first method from which we can synthesize the nitroalkanes. The method is quite simple and it is starting from the alkane type of molecule. On the screen, you can see here, this is the methane molecule or let us say an alkane molecule. And if I want to synthesize the corresponding nitroalkane from this, I will be requiring certain types of reagents because this reaction can't be a spontaneous type of reaction. I mean to say, if I'll keep this methane molecule as it is, it will never be converted into the corresponding nitroalkane molecule. Definitely some types of reagents are required here and you can see the reagent is nothing, it is the nitric acid or HNO3. So let us have a quick look on this method of preparation. Now what I can do is, I can write this methane molecule in this way, CH3 and H here, as well as the nitric acid can also be written in this way, OH here, single bond and NO2. Now what happens is, at this high temperature, removal of a molecule of water will take place. And how I can show that? I can simply show it in this way. H will go from my alkane molecule and OH part from the nitric acid. It will be eliminated in the form of a molecule of water. And what I will get here is the corresponding nitroalkane molecule. So this method is actually a vapor phase nitration type of method. Now we do have some limitations as far as this method is concerned. The first limitation is what? That a mixture of isomeric nitroalkanes is obtained. Now what is the meaning of this thing? Please consider this molecule here, which is N-propane. Let me write here N-propane. Now it contains these three carbon atoms. Let me show here on this side the first carbon atom, the second one here, and this is the third one. You can see here all these carbon atoms are not equivalent. They are not having same chemical environment because this first carbon atom here is of primary type of carbon atom and so is this one here. On the other hand, the central carbon atom is actually a secondary type of carbon atom simply because it is attached to two different carbon atoms, one on this side and the other on this side. So what happens is, there are equal possibilities that the nitro group from here means the NO2, it can come onto this carbon atom means this one here as well as onto this central carbon atom. The mechanism of course will be same, means H will be going from here and OH will go from the nitric acid molecule, that is I can show it like this, means it will be something like this. So the first possibility is what? That the nitro can come on this carbon atom and the product will be something like this. But because we do have another carbon atom which is different from the rest of the two carbon atoms, so there is also a possibility, there is also a second possibility that H may go from this carbon atom and OH may go from the nitric acid molecule, such that now the nitro group will come on to this central carbon atom, resulting in the formation of this type of product here. So once again, this is nothing, it is a simple limitation of this method. If in a substrate like this, we are having different types of carbon atoms, there is a possibility for the formation of isomeric type of nitroalkanes. And moreover, this reaction here is believed to occur by a free radical type of mechanism. And we all know that the order of reactivity for the free radical follows this order, that is tertiary free radical is more stable as compared to the secondary free radical, which in turn is more stable as compared to the primary type of free radical. So what happens is, in this reaction here, it will result in the formation of, first of all, this type of secondary free radical, which will finally give rise to this type of product here. And because the secondary type of free radical, which I meant is this one here, is more stable as compared to the primary one, therefore whatever product we will be getting here is the major product, as you can see here on your screen. The second possibility, of course, is what? That it will be resulting in the formation of a primary free radical, something like this. So let me write here, it will be a primary type of free radical. And of course, it will be resulting in the formation of this type of product here. And because this type of primary free radical is less stable as compared to the secondary free radical, this product here will be formed in the minor amount. And we do have a second limitation of this method. Not only the isomeric type of nitroalkanes are formed, but the nitroalkanes containing lesser number of carbon atoms are also formed in this reaction. Now, how this is possible? The reason is this nitric acid which we are adding here, it is a strong oxidizing agent. Let me write here. The nitric acid which we are using here as a reagent, it is actually a very strong oxidizing agent. So what it can do is, it can result in oxidative type of cleavage for certain types of molecules. And the same thing is happening here, because of which we are getting this product and this product in this reaction. So first of all, starting from this N-propane molecule containing 3 carbon atoms, when we will be adding nitric acid here and the temperature is so high, means when we are adding nitric acid in this and giving a temperature as high as 673 Kelvin, because of its oxidizing ability, it can also result in oxidative type of cleavage. By cleavage I mean the breaking of a carbon and a carbon bond. So because of this cleavage, what will happen? It will result in the formation of this fragment here containing 2 carbon atoms plus the second fragment which is containing a single carbon atom. And by the same type of mechanism, what will happen? The nitro group will come here like this, because this carbon atom is primary, this is also primary. Both carbon atoms are having the same environment here. So it will not matter on what carbon atom the nitro group is going, resulting in the formation of this third type of molecule in this same reaction. And when in this carbon fragment, single carbon fragment, the nitration will take place, it will result in the formation of this type of product here, this last product here in this reaction. So basically, in this very first method, we will be utilizing the alkane molecules for a reaction known as the vapor phase nitration, and simply we will be getting the nitro compounds. But once again, this method is not devoid of limitations, and the major limitation is that it results in the formation of the first and the second isomeric nitroalkanes. But not only this, it also results in oxidative cleavage, or let us say the cleavage of the carbon and the carbon bonds, resulting in the formation of smaller type of products here. So I can simply write here, this is the first product, this is the second one, this is the third product here, and this is the fourth product of this reaction. So we can easily say that this method is not a very good method and is not a suitable method for the laboratory preparation of the nitroalkanes. The reason being, if I am taking some round bottom flask like this, and in that I am adding my alkane molecule plus the reagent, that is HNO3, in that round bottom flask, after the reaction is over, I will not be getting a single pure product. Instead, I will be getting the first product here, which will be this one. Let me tell you, it will be this one here. Then I will also be having the second product, which will be this here. And in the same way, I will be having two more products, the third one, which will be this, and in the last, the fourth product here, which will be this type of nitro compound. So without any doubt, we can say that it is not a very good method, because we have to use a lot of energy, a lot of chemicals in order to separate these four products. So this is the very first method, and it is having some limitations, but it is fine. Every method has its own limitations. Now let us have a look on our second method for the preparation of the nitroalkenes. So dear students, as you can see here, the second method is starting from the alkyl halides, and you can see here, this is our alkyl halide. This is the alkyl halide, and from that alkyl halide, what I am getting is my required product, that is the nitroalkane. But in addition, I am also getting a second product, which I can call it as a side product, and this is nothing but some alkyl type of nitrite. The reagent you can also see on your screen, it is silver nitrite. So now we will be discussing the mechanism of this reaction, and we will also see that how in addition to our major product, that is the nitroalkane, how we are getting the second side product, that is the alkyl nitrite. Now I can start this reaction by saying that it is actually a nucleophilic type of substitution reaction. Suppose we are having some nucleophile. Let me draw here a nucleophile, and let us say we are adding some alkyl halide in that. By nucleophilic substitution, we simply mean this nucleophile will attack on this R group here. This will act as the halogen, will act as the leaving group, and it will be eliminated from the reaction. And ultimately, we will be getting R bond Nu, that is the nucleophile. Because this nucleophile here is substituting the position of X, we used to call this type of mechanism as the nucleophilic type of substitution. And the same mechanism is applicable as far as this method is concerned, that is starting from some alkyl halide, we want is what? The nitroalkane molecule. Now after that, This is the reagent. This is our reagent, that is the silver nitrite. Let me draw here. Let me draw a little big structure here of the silver nitrite. N here, double bond oxygen. Now if you see here, I have written it is a covalent type of compound. Covalent means every bond is formed here by the sharing of electrons. There is no negative charge, no positive charge. The second thing which I have written here is that it is an ambident type of nucleophile. Ambident means what? Ambident nucleophiles are those nucleophiles in which more than one sites are there which can act as a nucleophile. Like in this case, we are having this nitrogen atom. It is having a lone pair of electrons, as well as we are also having this oxygen atom having two lone pair of electrons. So there is a possibility that the nitrogen lone pair can attack on some alkyl halide acting as some nucleophile. In the same way, this oxygen atom here can also attack on the alkyl halide, such that in this same nucleophile we are having two reactive sites. The first one is this nitrogen atom here, and the second one is this oxygen atom here. Such kind of nucleophiles are known as the ambident type of nucleophiles. Now what happens is, out of this nitrogen atom, here and this oxygen atom here, both are electronegative, we know. But one thing we also know is that the nitrogen atom is less electronegative as compared to the oxygen atom. Such that because this nitrogen atom is less electronegative, it can give its electrons quite easily relatively to the oxygen atom. So obviously, if we are having one nitrogen atom which can give its electrons easily as compared to the oxygen atom, which is also having its lone pair, but the donation of these electrons or the giving of these electrons is not very easy. We can say that the nitrogen has a high nucleophilic character. Let me write here, high nucleophilic character or the nucleophilicity as compared to that of the oxygen. So one thing is very clear, that in alkyl halide, if we will be adding silver nitrite, which is actually a covalent type of compound and at the same time ambident type of nucleophile, the major possibility for the attack will be of what atom? It will be from these nitrogen lone pairs. So I can simply show the attack of the nitrogen lone pair on this alkyl halide in this way. And when it will attack on this R group, what will happen? This X will be eliminated from here, resulting in the formation of what? It will result in the formation of a bond in between the nitrogen atom and the R group here, and X negative will be eliminated. At the same time, what will happen? Let me draw here the full structure of the silver nitrite. At the same time, this X negative will also take this Ag positive from here, and these electrons will be shifted on this side. So what will happen? We will be getting a nitro compound here. From this thing, we will be getting what? The nitro compound, and from an Ag positive and X negative will be eliminated in the form of this AgX. So in this way, the major compound will always be the nitroalkane if we are taking the silver nitrite as our reagent. And do remember, the important reactant here is what? Our alkyl halide. And at the same time, I have told you that being an ambident type of nucleophile, although less, but still oxygen can also attack as the nucleophile. So once again, the chances are less, But when this oxygen atom will act as a nucleophile and it will attack on this R group, sending X in the same way here, we will not be getting the nitro compound, but we will be getting the alkyl type of nitrite, and it will always be formed in the minor amount. I can show here like this. Ag here, single bond oxygen, a nitrogen, double bond oxygen here. Let us say this is the alkyl halide, and it will be very clear from this attack. When it will attack here on this R, it will simply move out of the system. The Ag and X will be eliminated, and we will get what? It will be this alkyl nitrite. One more thing which I want to add here is, if instead of the silver nitrite means this thing, we are adding the sodium nitrite, which is not some covalent compound but is purely ionic in nature, in that case we will not be getting any nitro compound or the nitroalkane. The reason being, this is not an ambident type of nucleophile, because the negative charge is concentrated only on the oxygen atom. It will make oxygen very nucleophilic in nature. So the only possibility here when we will be using sodium nitrite as our reagent is what? That this oxygen negative will attack on the R group, sending X out of the system, resulting in the formation of only the alkyl nitrite. So we can also understand this thing by saying, let us say this is my sodium nitrite, oxygen, double bond nitrogen, single bond oxygen negative here and Na positive here. Now you may say that the ONO here is also containing the oxygen atom as well as the nitrogen atom here. So why it is not acting as an ambident nucleophile? The reason is quite simple, because in this case the oxygen is having a negative charge, and charges always means instability. Whether it is a positive charge or a negative charge, a charge always means instability, and everything in nature wants stability. So what will happen? This negative charge will simply attack on the alkyl halide, sending X out from here, resulting in the formation of the corresponding alkyl nitrite as the sole product of this reaction. So friends, this is the second reaction by which we can synthesize our nitroalkanes. Now let us quickly move on to the third reaction. The last method is starting from some tertiary type of alkyl amines. This tertiary butylamine is nothing. We can call it as a tertiary type of primary amine. Why primary amine? Because the nitrogen atom here is attached to a single carbon atom, a single R group here. And why this whole group is tertiary in nature? Because this carbon atom is further attached to 3 different carbon atoms. You can see here, starting from this tertiary type of alkylamine, we can get the corresponding nitroalkane in excellent yields. And the reagent is what? It is KMnO4. KMnO4 is what? It is potassium permanganate. And being an oxidizing agent, we can refer this whole reaction as some sort of oxidation reaction. And by oxidation, what we mean is oxidation is what? We can say it is nothing, it is addition of oxygen atoms, or at the same time we can also say it as the removal of the hydrogen atoms. So if we are starting from some NH2 means a primary amine, addition of oxygen means what? Single bond nitrogen, let us say one oxygen and the second oxygen. And at the same time, the removal of hydrogens is also taking place. As you can see here, the 2 hydrogens has been removed from here. And now what is this? It is nothing. We can write here OR, and this is what? This is our NO2 group here. So in this way, friends, starting from some tertiary alkyl amine, with the help of KMNO4 as the oxidizing agent, we can get the corresponding nitroalkane, and you can see here the yields are very excellent in this type of reaction. So in the present lecture, we have seen 3 different methods by which the nitroalkanes can be prepared. The first method was starting from some alkane molecule using nitric acid, and the technique was what? It was the vapor phase type of nitration. The second method was starting from some alkyl halide and adding silver nitrite also we can get the nitro type of compounds. And this is the last method here which we just have discussed. From some tertiary alkyl type of amines also, and adding potassium permanganate we can get our corresponding nitroalkanes. So this is all for this lecture. Keep watching my videos, and in the next video I will be talking about the different methods of preparation, but that will be for the nitroarenes, in which the R group will be some aromatic type of molecule. So thank you so much guys. Please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.